Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial we're going to be making a pullover, like a sweater pullover. And what I used was 2 skeins of Pound of Love, Lion Brand Pound of Love in the color Claret. I used a 6mm hook. You're going to need some stitch markers, 4 at the most, or you can just use a strand of scrap yarn you got. We're going to need scissors, a hook, and you're going to need a t-shirt that fits you the way you want your pullover to fit. Because this is pretty much, we're going to do the same thing like we did in my cardigan. I don't remember the name of it right now. Singing in the Rain or something. I can't remember. But it's that, I made it with that blue ombre, Red Heart Super Saver ombre. And we did the squares and sewed those together. Same concept. We're going to be sizing our pullover to fit our t-shirt, fit like our t-shirt. So what we're going to do is we're going to make 2 panels. We're going to single crochet the panels together, work a little edging around the bottom and around our sleeves, and that's it. It's really quick and easy. However, yours may not be exactly the same as mine because, you know, our t-shirts are different sizes, or you may be the same size as me. So get your supplies together and let's get started. Okay, so I've got my shirt. I picked out one that fits me like I want my sweater or my pullover to fit. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the 2 corners at the bottom, and I got 1 finger here, 1 finger here, and I'm just going to make sure it stays nice and flat. I'm going to lay this out just like this. The main thing we want is this point. The main thing we want is a nice straight line right here from our armpit down, so we can get a good measurement of how wide we need to work our chain. So for mine, I usually wear extra large 2X. That's how I like my t-shirts to fit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain a length that measures the same here, the same width as my t-shirt, right? So mine, of course, I don't have a tape measure here. And I always like to measure at the bottom of my t-shirt because that's where I like to pull it a little bit so it's not so tight. Mine's about 24 inches, right on the dot. So I chained 97. So the stitch multiple is 6 plus 1. So 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6 plus 1. So I come up with 96 plus 1. 97. So that's my chain. So for your chain, you just measure your shirt and keep working multiples of 6 until your chain is the length you need, and then you add your 1. Okay, so like I said, I wear an extra large 2X roughly. So my chain, I can already tell you if that's the size you want, chain 97, 96 plus 1. So get your chain and we will get started on our stitch pattern. Okay, so I've got my little row right here so you guys can see, and I've got my 97 chains, and I'm realizing this yarn may be too dark for you guys to see. Maybe it's not, I'm not sure. Okay, so I've got my chains done. So for row 1, we're going to single crochet into the second chain from hook. So not this one, but the next one. So we're going to work our single, We're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip 3, 1, 2, 3, single crochet in the next 3, 1, 2, 3, chain 3, skip 3, 1, 2, 3, single crochet in the next 3. So it's just sets of 3, 3, 3, 3, 2 and 3, chain 3, skip 3, single crochet in the next 3, 1, 2 and 3. And I'm going to go ahead and pause just because this yarn is a little darker and I usually don't crochet under such bright lights. So I'm going to go ahead and find some stitch markers. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I didn't want to lose my first single crochet. Okay, so I got my 3 singles, chain 3, skip 3, a single crochet in the next 3, chain 3, skip 3, single crochet in the next 3, 1, 2 and 3. So go ahead and repeat that across your chain. Single, 3 single, chain 3, skip 3, 3 single, and I will meet you guys at the end. Okay, so I'm coming to the end. I'm going to pull this out so I can make sure you guys see this. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chains left. I already worked my chain 3, so I'm going to skip 3 and I should have 2 chains left. We're going to work 1 single crochet into the last 2. And that is the end of row 1. So row 2, so we're going to chain 1 and turn. We're going to single crochet into our very first single. And I'm going to go ahead and stop and I'm going to mark this. And now we're going to work 5 double crochet into our chain space. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to single crochet into the middle of those 3 single crochets we have. Make sure you guys can see this. So we have 1, 2, 3 singles. We're going to single right in that middle one. And that is the repeat. So 5 doubles into our chain 3 space. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And single into our middle single crochet from the previous row. 5 doubles, 2, 3, 4, 5, single into our middle single, and repeat that across. So go ahead and work this all the way across and I'll meet you at this end. Okay, I've repeated my pattern across. I've worked my 1 single. I have a chain 3 space left, so I got 5 double crochets to work. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now do you kind of see why I marked my last single crochet right there? And now all we're going to do to end round 2 is single crochet into that last single. And that is the end of row 2. So for to make our turn, we're just going to chain 1 and turn. Change this to row 3. All right, for row 3, we're going to work 1 double into that very first single crochet right there. So double. I'm going to go ahead and stop and mark that. Now we're going to single crochet into the second, third, and fourth double crochet. So for where we are, we're just going to skip this first double and we're going to single crochet into the second, third, and fourth. So skip the first one, single crochet into the second, third, and fourth. We're going to chain 3, skip 3, 1, 2, 3. Here's our second. So we're going to single crochet into the second, third, and fourth. So skip 1, 2, 3, single crochet into the second, third, and fourth double. Chain 3, skip, 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 single crochet into the second, third, and fourth double. Chain 3, skip 3, 3 singles, 1, 2, 3, chain 3, skip 3, 1, 2, 3, chain 3. I like to work my chains a little tighter because I don't want to have big gaps in there. Skip 3, 3 singles, 1, 2, 3, chain 3, skip 3, 3 singles. And that is what we're going to work all the way across row 3. 2, 3, skip 3, 3 singles. So go ahead and work this across your piece and I will meet you at the end. Okay, so I'm back and I've repeated row 3, 3 single, chain 3, 3 single, chain 3, 3 single, and I'm to the end. So to end row 3, we're not gonna chain from here. All we're gonna do is just work a double crochet in that last single right there. So just work a double. And that is the end of row 3. So we're going to chain 1 and turn. Set this down, change my row to row 4. All right, for row 4, we're going to double crochet into that very first stitch, which is the double we just worked. Just going to double crochet right in there. I'm going to go ahead and stop and mark that. Now we're going to work 2 more double crochet right back into there. So that first stitch should have 3 double crochets into it. We're going to go ahead and single crochet into our middle single right here of our set of 3. Go ahead and work your single. And now we just go back into working what we did in the row 2, we're just working 5 doubles, 2, 3, 4, and 5, single in our middle of our set of 3 in the second single, and then work our 5 doubles. So the only thing that makes this row different than row 2 is how we begin and end the row. I lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single in our second single. So go ahead and repeat this across, and I will meet you guys at the end of this row. 3, 4, and 5. Single. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I've worked my pattern across. You can see I worked my 5 double into my last chain 3 space. So I'm going to go ahead and single into my middle single crochet right there. And now I'm going to go right into that last stitch, and I'm going to work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. All right, that is the end of row 4. We're going to go ahead and chain 1 and turn. Stop and change this to 5. And this is the last row of our repeat. So our pattern repeat, like I said at the beginning, is rows 2 through 5. So this is the last row, looking at my notes here, for our pattern repeat. So we're going to single crochet into the very first double right here. And we're going to single crochet into the next double. So I'm going to go ahead and stop, find my stitch marker. I'm going to mark my first single right there. All right, so now we chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Skip 3. 1, 2, 3. Single into the next 3, which is the second, third, and the fourth double crochet from our shell that we worked. Chain 3, skip 3, 1, 2, 3, single crochet into the next 3, and 2 and 3, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, single crochet into the next 3. So go ahead and repeat this across just like we have before, and I'll meet you guys at the end. 1, 2, and 3. So go ahead, repeat our little setup row, and I'll see you guys at the end. And you can see our pattern starting to show. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I've been repeating my pattern across. I have my chain 3 right here, skip 1, 2, 3, and I have 2 singles left. The one I got marked, and then one right here. So we're going to single crochet into the second to last single, and single crochet into our last one. Chain 1, turn, and then we start row 2. Go ahead and stop. So I want you guys to repeat, come on, there. Repeat rows 2 through 5. 2 through 5. Keep repeating that and repeating that until, I gotta go grab my t-shirt. Hold on just a second. Okay, so I want you guys to keep repeating 2 through 5 until, get this straightened, you're about right to where your armpit starts on your t-shirt. About right in here. But we're going to end on row 4. So if you're on row 3 and you're right here, just work 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, and you should be close. And if you're on row 3 and you're already right here, or you're on row 2 and you're already right here, go ahead and work to row 4. It's all right if it's a little bit longer. It's not going to hurt nothing. So repeat rows 2 through 5 until you get to the armpit of your t-shirt, and come back here, and I'm going to show you how we're going to add our sleeves. Okay, so I'm back, and I've worked my pattern repeat 2 through 5 until my panel reaches to the armpit of my t-shirt. And I've worked, here's row 4. I've worked all across row 4. Here's the last stitch of row 4. I chain 1, and I want you guys to cut your yarn and pull it out. And there we go. There's our panel. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add the sleeves. And our sleeves, the pattern of our sleeve is going to be 3/4 length. So let me get my arm in the camera. So the pattern is going to start at our shoulder and go down to about roughly our elbow area. And then we're going to work a ribbing, and you guys can work that ribbing part as long as you want to. I'm going to work it till about right here. So it's a little longer than a 3/4 length. But what we're going to do is we're going to attach a chain here, and a chain here, a chain here, and a chain here. And then we're going to work the pattern starting from row 1 to 5, then 2 through 5, then 2 through 5. But we'll get to that. Okay, so to add our sleeves, we're going to need our panel to be double crochets up. So all these little, the shells or the groups of 5 double crochets, they all need to be facing up. See how these are the front? And that's the back. We want the front facing up. And we're going to attach our first chain. That is a chain of 49. So I want to make sure I got a long tail. Get this out of your guys' way so it focuses. Make sure you have a long tail so we can weave in our end. And go ahead and chain 49. And if you guys want the pattern part of your sleeve to go longer, just keep making sure you keep 6 plus 1, 6 plus 1, or 6, 6, 6 plus 1, 6, however you guys want to do it. So go ahead and get your chain of 49. I got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to be right back. I'm going to get that done. Okay, so I got my chain of 49. So I'm going to bring my panel back. Make sure you keep the double crochets up. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and cut my working yarn. I'm going to leave a long piece so I don't lose that stitch. So into the very first stitch right here that we got marked, I'm going to take that out, pull up a little bit of a loop, lay my chain straight, and I'm going to insert my hook into that very first stitch. I'm going to grab my tail as close to the stitch right here as I can. I'm going to pull through, and I'm going to chain 1, chain 1 to lock it down. And then I'm going to go ahead, pull this through, and I'll pull that tight, holding on to that second to last chain so we don't lose that. So there's that part. And now on our left side, I'm going to take my stitch marker out of my very last stitch. Go ahead and insert that. Now I'm going to take my working yarn here, long tail to weave in. I'm just going to grab it, pull through, I'm going to drop my tail, keep my working yarn, and I'm going to chain 49. Pull that nice and tight. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So go ahead and get your chain 49 done and come back. Okay, so I've got my chain of 49 done. And I'm going to keep that on my hook, and we're just going to flip everything over. So now we're going to work our pattern. We're going to start with row 1. So row 1 starts with skipping the first stitch, single crocheting into the next. So I'm going to go ahead and stop and mark that. There's my first stitch of the row. Now we chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, single crochet into the next 3, 1, 2, 3, chain 3, dang it, 2, 3, skip 3, single crochet into the next 3. So go ahead and repeat this until you guys get close to your panel, and I'll be right back and I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Chain 3, skip 3, single crochet in the next 3. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm coming up to the panel. I've chained 3, and if your chain wants to, the chain we're working into, if it wants to twist, pull that tail a little bit. And even if it is twisted, it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to see it. It's in your armpit. All right, so we've chained 3. I'm going to skip 3. There's one little chain left right here. So I'm going to single crochet into that. And now I'm going to single crochet into the next 2 doubles. So our pattern is staying the same as it would if, you know, like we did in our panel. We're just adding to it. You know, does that make sense? I hope it does. So we're going to continue our pattern along just like we always have been. Chain 3, 2, 3, skip 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, chain 3. So go ahead and work our pattern across the panel, and I'll meet you guys when we start working on our next sleeve. Okay, so I'm coming up to the end of my panel before I start my chain. So I work my chain 3, skip, 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 single crochet in the next double, and into the next double, and then we're going to single crochet into that first chain. All right, now we chain 3, skip 3, single crochet into the next 3. 1, 2, 3, chain 3, skip 3, single crochet into the next 3. So go ahead and repeat this just like we have been, and I will meet you guys at the end of this chain. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm coming up to the end of my chain, and 2 things should happen. We should, after we work our chain 3, or our 3 single right here, chain 3, skip 1, 2, 3, we should have 2 chains left. That is perfect. Get in there. Okay, so now we're going to chain 1 and turn, and we're going to start our 2 through 5, our rows 2 through 5, just like we did through the whole panel. Now here's the second thing that should happen. When we flip everything to start our double crochet row, our double crochets of our panel should face us, just like the rest of the double crochets on our sleeves. Does that make sense? So like, if you guys notice throughout your panel that you guys were working right here, every time you did the 3 single, chain 3, 3 single, chain 3, your double crochets should have been the back of it facing you. And then the rows that you did all your double crochets on, all of the double crochets are facing up, right? So when we added our chains, our little sleeves here, we added our chains, did our single crochet chain across, so the double crochets are the back of the doubles are facing us, and we worked across our chain, and now that we're to the end, we chain 1 and turn, and now the double crochets are facing us, so we go ahead and go into row 2. Tighten that down a little bit. Go into row 2. And we single crochet into the very first single. I'm going to go ahead and stop and mark that. And then we go right into our 5 doubles into our chain space. 2, 3, 4, 5, single in our middle, 5 doubles. So what we're going to do now, 2, 1, I can't count and talk at the same time, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and work our row 2 right across. Looks like pretend our chain's not even there. We're just working row 2 like we always do, like we have through the whole panel. Get to the end. We're at chain 1 and we're going to work row 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we are going to keep doing that. It'll get my t-shirt. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back and I got my armpit lined up with the armpit on my shirt. And we're going to repeat 2 through 5 until our sleeve touches, like the top of our shell touches about right here. Now I don't want it touching up here because this part, as we go, we're adding to it, and this is what's going to be part of our shoulder, right? We don't want the sleeve the same height as what our shoulder is going to be. Can you see how the shirt kind of angles right here and then comes out right there? So we're going to keep working this, working it back and forth, 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 until the shell. What row did I end on? I think I ended on a row 4. I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember, and I didn't write it down in my pattern notes. But I'll come back and I'll let you guys know what row I ended on. But we're just going to repeat 2 through 5, 2 through 5, 2 through 5, 2 through 5, until we follow our armpit up, and the top of our shell is going to touch up here, okay? Not over here. It's going to touch over here. So go ahead and repeat that, and I'm going to come back and let you guys know the lengths and dimensions of my pullover, and then I'm going to explain to you exactly how I got those dimensions. So if you're smaller, larger, what have you, because like mine's an extra large 2X size. So I'm going to keep doing that, repeating 2 through 5, and then I'll come back and I'll tell you guys exactly my dimensions, where I stopped. So I want to make sure you guys completely understand where you're getting your sizes from. But anyway, so I'm going to work 2 through 5 until I get up to here, and I'll be like just following your armpit straight up. Right there. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm back, and I've worked my panel, the sleeve, with the middle part of my panel. I've worked that until this is either row 2 or 4. You want to end on a double crochet row. Remember how I said I didn't want it to touch up here? I wanted it to touch farther down here. But if I would have done another row, it would have went way over, right? We don't want that. So I'm going to leave this here for a minute so you guys can see, like, my armpits are lined up. Now you can see how that goes. Trying to get both the armpit there. So if I would have worked another chain row and then another double crochet row, it would have went way too far past. So I want to stop right here. And here's a little hint. If you're not sure how far you should go, or if you want to go farther, so this pullover is 2 panels. So we just finished the first panel, right? So we're going to make another one. So whenever you get to the end of your first panel, don't tie it off. Just leave a long tail in case you don't like the width right here, or it's too far, too long here, too short. But so make your other panel, start it in your sleeve, work it about to the same length, and then just tie it together through these chains, or use stitch markers, it'll be fine, and tie them together, and then put your arm through there. Is it too tight? Then take everything out, and then go ahead and work another chain row and then another double crochet row. And if it's too big, then go ahead and pull it out a little bit and go back to your previous double crochet row. Does that make sense? Clear as mud, right? Okay, so what we're gonna do now is go ahead and get all your ends weaved in. Bump my light. Go ahead and get all your ends weaved in and get your other panel made. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this back so you guys can see what my panel looks like so far. So go ahead and get your other panel made, and we're going to start sewing it together. So I've already got mine here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lay this to where the front of the double crochets are going to be facing each other. So my bottom panel right here, my double crochets are facing up. So the second panel that I make, when I lay this down, the double crochets are facing down, so they're facing each other, right? So this one's facing up, this one's facing down, and when I close them, they're together. The two fronts of my panels, the 2 double crochets, are facing each other. I am all kinds of tangled up. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to find corner to corner. Let me adjust you guys. So when we sew this up, we obviously don't want to sew the bottom where our body goes in, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet. We're not going to slip stitch, because slip stitches are really tight. So, once you have it slip stitched together and you put it on, it's not going to have any give to it. But if we work single crochets, the single crochets are going to have a little bit of give, in case it doesn't fit right or whatnot. So what I'm going to do is grab my hook, which of course I don't have here. Okay, got the hook. Be prepared next time. So I'm just going to start in this bottom corner, this bottom right hand corner, and I'm just going to go into the corner. And if you guys see spray paint on me, I was spray painting earlier and I forgot to put a glove on and I can't get it off. I need to try fingernail polish remover. But okay, I'm going to go right in that corner, get my yarn, slip knot, pull it through, chain 1, and I'm going to go right back in there with a single. Now I'm just going to evenly space out, working through both panels, single crochets all the way up to my armpits, right up here. And then I'm going to show you guys what we're going to do there. But I'm just going to evenly space out single crochets, nothing fancy. Just going to work them where I can get them. And something that may help with keeping your panels nice and even, you know, so like by the time you get up to the top up here, you don't have the front panel like this and the back panel straight, so then you got a big old gap right there. Every I'd say 2 or 3 inches, use a stitch marker or some scrap yarn, doesn't matter. Just lay that out, and I'm just going to go ahead and put one in here. So that keeps me nice and even to right here. And then when I get to there, I'll just move it up or add another one, whatever you want to do. But I'm just going to single crochet evenly along here. Just going where I can get them. So go ahead and just single crochet yours together, and I will come back when I get to the armpit. I'm going to show you guys what we're going to do. Get in there. All right. See how nice and pretty that looks? All right, I will be right back. Okay, I'm coming up to my armpit. Almost there. I'm going to go ahead and go through here and here. Move my marker. Just about there. I thought I was a little closer. All right. I think I can get one more in there before the armpit. Rotate everything. All right. So here's my armpit. There's the bend. I'm going to go ahead and go right into the most corner. Does that make sense? Like the sharpest corner of my armpit. And I'm just going to work. I'm going to go ahead and work 3 singles in there. So that way it's not such a sharp corner right there. It's just a smooth around the edge. So now what we're going to start doing is working into the chain part at the bottom of our sleeve. So I'm just going to go, I don't want to work into just one loop of my chain. I want to work through both loops. And this doesn't have to be precise. You skip a chain or two, doesn't matter. Now I'm going to go into the bottom of those singles. The singles are kind of nice because that's what can keep you even all the way across your underarm. Here, go through here, go through there. Go through there. One more chain right here. Looks like I worked and I missed a chain, so I'm just going to go ahead and skip it. It's fine. Now I'm to the bottom of my singles. And 3. Okay, so go ahead and keep single crocheting along the bottom of our sleeve, and I'll meet you guys at the end. I'm going to go ahead and give you a little preview of how it looks, how the bottom of our arm is going to look. See how nice and pretty that is? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and keep crocheting along the bottom of this chain, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm coming up to the end of the bottom of my sleeve, and I worked around the last 3 chains, and I'm just going to go ahead and work a single crochet into the very corner of the bottom of my sleeve. Chain 1, pull up, and I'm going to cut. So now I want to show you guys something. When I was off camera, I thought it is kind of a pain to crochet through the bottom of the chain. So I just worked 3 single crochets around both chains, and look what it did. Can you see the difference? Not really, right? So if you want to just put your hook through your 2 chains of each panel and just work 3 single crochets around your chains, 3 single crochet at the bottom of the 3 single crochet here, and then just keep doing that, it's fine. It's going to look exactly the same as the part that wasn't. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing that we just finished. Get all my stuff moved. On the other side. So we're going to lay our corners together. Lay my corners out nice and pretty. I'm going to go ahead and pull these even down a little bit. I'm going to put a marker so it stays even to that point. Get my hook, get my yarn. Make sure I get through both corners. Nope. Attach my hook. Pull through both. Chain 1, go right back in there with a single. And we're going to repeat what we just did. Single crocheting up, get to our corner, work 3 into that right at the point of that corner, right in there. So it's a nice round edge. And then when we get to the bottom of our sleeve, we're going to go ahead and work around these 2 chains. We're going to work 3 singles, a single into each of the bottom of our 3 right here. Make sure you can see this. See the bottoms right there? And then 3 around our chains, 1 in each of the 3 of the bottoms, and keep working that. Get to your very corner, work 1 single, chain 1, pull it out, and I will be back, and we're going to go on from there. We're almost done. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I've gotten my pieces sewn together besides the top, right? So now we're going to mark out our neck holes. Now, my top across you know, from one end of the sleeve to the other end of the sleeve, I have 32 shells, okay? And if I take my shirt and I lay it out, kind of comes to about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 and 6. That's a little small. So I can't make it 7, right? Because then it's going to be off on one side. So if I bring it over and I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that's a good size neck hole. Or we can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'm going to go ahead and leave mine at 6 because if we do 8, it's going to be way too big, and it does stretch a little, right? So I'm going to go ahead and leave mine at 6. I'm going to grab my stitch markers. Because if we did, you know, 6, or if we did 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we did 7, you know, it's not even. There. Okay, so like if we did 7, so this side from here to the end of my sleeve would be so many shells, and then from this side to the end of my sleeve would have one less shell than my other side, right? So we don't want that. It's going to look weird. So go ahead and mark your neck holes off. And then we are going to start working. I still haven't weaved in my ends. We're going to start working from the sleeve all the way across to our first stitch marker where our neck hole starts, and then we're going to stop there. So I'm going to get organized and get readjusted here, and I'll be right back. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start from my stitch marker. And I have it marked at the single crochets between the shells. I'm just going to go ahead and insert my hook through both of those. Get my yarn. Pull that down. Pull it through. Chain 1. I'm going to go right back in there with a single. And all I'm going to do is work stitch for stitch with a single all the way down my sleeve. Nothing special, just stitch for stitch. Don't skip your singles between your shells. Nice and loose. Making sure you're getting both loops on both double crochets. And that's it. We're going to work this all the way down to the end of our sleeve. And just like always, go into your last stitch. Work your single, chain 1, cut it, and pull it through. Go ahead and give you guys a little preview of what it's going to look like. Turn it inside out here. And that's what's going to be across our shoulder. Okay? So go ahead and just keep going stitch for stitch all the way down. When you get to the end, work a single crochet into the last stitch on each panel, chain 1, pull up a loop, cut it, pull through. So go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I've single crocheted across the top, worked into my last stitch. I'm going to chain 1, pull up a loop, cut, and pull through. Now I'm just going to repeat from our other neck hole stitch marker to the end, just like we did. So go ahead and get yours single crocheted closed at the top, and we'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I've got everything single crocheted up at the top. We got our neck hole. So I'm going to go ahead and take this time, and I'm going to stop crocheting on this for a little bit, and I'm going to weave all these ends in. I'll weave all these ends in. And when I come back, oh, excuse me, when I come back, we're going to put a little ribbing border at the bottom of our pullover, and then we're going to work on these sleeves. So go ahead and get all of your cleaning up done, and I will be right back. Okay guys, I'm back. I've gotten all my ends weaved in. I went ahead and tried it on, and I like the way it fits. If your guys is a little too tight, put it on a hanger, hang it up somewhere, and then take a steamer, or you can lay it flat and use the steam setting on your iron and hit it with some steam, and then kind of give it a little bit of a tug, and it'll loosen up around your belly, or if you need it around the top of your arms or anything like that. And I love how the neck sets on our neck, how you can see the shells. So I'm going to go ahead and turn mine back inside out, because for the border at the bottom, I want the double crochets that we're going to work. I want the right side of the double crochets to face out, right? So if it was, you know, flip back out and we started working it, the outside of the double crochets would be to the inside of the sweater, and that's not what I want. I want to be able to see the double crochets. So I got it flipped out. So the right side and the right side, not on camera, the right side and the right side are together. So now what we're seeing are the backs of the double crochets again. So I'm going to go ahead and get a slip knot on my hook. Okay, so when we start working our double crochets, so the backs of the double crochets of our panel are facing us, right? We want to start on the right side. And the reason we want to do that, I'm just going to go right into this chain. Slip stitch, chain one. Now when we work our doubles, the front of the doubles, 1, 2, 3, I'm going to lay this down, and see there's the back of our doubles. So when we flip this inside out, or right side out, the doubles are going to be facing the right way. You don't have to do that, that's just how I wanted to do this. Okay, so I worked 3 into the chain. Now I'm going to work 1 into the bottom of each of the doubles. I'm sorry, singles. 2 and 3. 3 into the little chain space. And 1 into each of the bottom of the singles. And that's what we're going to repeat all the way around. But I am going to work this across my panel, and then when we get to this other end, I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you guys what we're going to do to get across this little gap right here. So go ahead and work that across your panel, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I've made it to the little gap where I sewn my single crocheted my 2 panels together. And all I'm going to do, try to get this to where you guys can see better. See where it just kind of dips? I'm just going to work 1 single crochet there. I'm going to throw another one. I'm going to kind of finagle it in the middle there. I'm going to work 1 more over here. So all I'm doing is just working 3 double crochets across there. The middle one's a little longer, but that's all right. And now I'm just going to keep trucking along. working 3 doubles into the chain space and a double into the bottom of each of those 3 singles. Keep working that all the way around. I'll meet you guys back at the beginning. This is about the easiest part. Okay, I've made it back around to the beginning, and I've got a little bit I want to kind of work in here. So I'm going to go right into that hole right there. I'm going to kind of go in the middle where I can get my hook. I'm going to work another double and one more. So I got 3 doubles through my gap like we did on the other side. And I am going to slip stitch to the first double, chain 1, pull up a loop, and I'm going to go ahead and end my my bottom border here, but you guys are more than welcome to keep going if you guys want it a little bit longer. So you just chain 1 and then work a double crochet all the way around again, and just keep working that till you get it as long as you want. I'm happy with the length of mine now. So now we are going to start the sleeves. Okay, to get started with our sleeve, start with a slip knot. And right here is the bottom of my sleeve. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start right here. I'm just going to go in there. And all we're going to do is work a double crochet back into where we started, and we're just going to double crochet evenly around. Just evenly space out double crochets. But we want to be careful, because if we add too many around this, it's going to go like this. We don't want that, right? So we're just going to evenly space these out. If you happen to have a big gap between your double crochets, that's all right. So I'm pretty much just going, so like right there, I just worked around a double crochet, and I'm going to go right into this gap. I'm just going to go into the next gap. See, that's kind of a big stretch. That's all right. Go into the next gap. I'm around a double crochet. Another double. So just evenly space out double crochets all the way around. And I'll meet you guys at the beginning. And for the part where we sewed our panel together, we're just going to work straight across, like just as if it's not even there. Okay, so go ahead and keep working double crochets around, and I'll meet you guys back at the beginning. Okay, I've worked my double crochets around, and I have 51. If you have more or less, it's not that big of a deal. So I'm just going to go ahead and slip stitch to my first double. Chain 1. And now I'm going to work 3 double crochet decreases. So I'm going to yarn over, go in, pull up a loop, 3 on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2. Now I'm going to yarn over again, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop, there's 4. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2. So I have 3 loops left, yarn over and pull through all 3. And there's 1 decrease. So we're going to do it 2 more times. Yarn over, go in, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2. We have 2 left now. We're going to yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop. There's 4, yarn over, pull through 2. We have 3 left, yarn over, pull through 3. So there's 2 decreases. Now we have 1 more. Yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop. We got 4, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 3. So there's 3 decreases. Now we're just going to truck along with double crochets, and we're going to work the double crochets all the way around until we are, so we're going to go all the way around, and we're going to stop when we're 6 stitches away. So 2, 4, 6. So we're going to stop right here, and then we're going to work the 3 decreases to the beginning. So go ahead and double crochet around and stop when you get 6 stitches away. Okay, so I've got 6 stitches left. 2, 4, 6. So now I'm going to go ahead and decrease over the last 6 stitches. Got stuck on that. Here's the last one. Okay, so now I'm going to slip stitch to my first, chain 1, and now for round 2, we're going to double crochet decrease over the next 2. So we're going to yarn over, go in, pull up, pull through 2, go in, go up, 3 loops, pull through 3. There's 1 and 2. And now we're just going to double crochet all the way around, and we're going to stop when we are 4 stitches from the beginning. So 2 and 4. And then we're going to work our decreases. So go ahead and double crochet around, and I'll meet you at the beginning. Okay, I'm 4 stitches away, so I'm going to go ahead and work my decreases. We're just doing 2. And 2. We're going to slip stitch to the very first. Chain 1. And for this round, we are just going to work 1 double crochet decrease. So we're going to go into the same one we slip stitch to, work our first part, go to the next one, 3 loops, pull through 3, and that's it. Now we're just going to double crochet along all the way around. And now this time we're going to double crochet all the way around and stop when we're 2 stitches from the beginning. So go ahead and work that around, and I'll meet you when we're 2 stitches from the beginning. Okay, so I'm to the last 2 stitches, and we're going to go ahead and double crochet decrease over those. First half and the second half. Slip stitch to our first, chain 1, and guess what, guys? Pull up a loop, cut, and we are done. Now you guys are more than welcome just to keep working this or just work double crochets, however you want to do it. But I tried mine on and I like the length of mine. So what you're gonna do now is repeat for the other sleeve, and I already got mine done. Weave in your ends, and we're done. We're done, we're done, we're done, we're done. I'm so happy. So we are gonna flip this inside out. Show you guys. Oops, bumped the camera, sorry. Show you guys what we got. There is our finished pullover sweater. Yay! I hope you guys enjoyed this. This one was a little more work to design and film, but it was worth it because I'm happy. So as always, check out that description box. I got some stuff down there for you guys. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't, please. And I got some more stuff that I'm whipping out. One of them I'm pretty excited about, but that one's going to take a little longer. So, I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.